Hey guys, Mark Spector Comics back here, and I want to come out with you another segment. This will be called the Indie Spotlight. So, I got a few different series here that I think are going to go up in value quite a bit. I'm going to start off with this unboxing. I've had this for a while, haven't had a chance to open it up. This is from a small publisher. It's from Red 5 Comics. I've got a couple of pretty cool series in there, and then I'll talk about some other series that you should probably look into. I know most of us will collect Marvel and DC, and that is a good chunk of my personal collection. But I do collect a lot of the independents as well, and I think there's a lot of good stories out there worth looking into. So I'll start with this unboxing. Alright. So I bought this a while back. I forgot what I actually bought. As books wise, I know what the series is that's in here, but not sure which numbers they are. Alright. So this is from Red 5 Comics. This is actually free comic book day from, I believe this is from last year. This is two parts. This is from Kaiser Size Scorched Earth and Story on the Rift, which is actually one of the books I'm going to go into. That's pretty cool. Alright. So let's start. So since I was just talking about the Rift, let's start with that book. So this is The Rift #1. This is by Red 5 Comics. And this is a short mini-series. Just zoom that in real quick. So this came out in 2017. It's a 4-part series that talks about the story of a woman and her son who witnessed a crash of, this is World War II, a 1941 fighter plane that passed through a portal into present day. So this short series has begun filming by, they're going to do like an adaptation of it with Steven Spielberg directing. So this is actually a pretty good read. So you can pick these up on Red 5 Comics for I think about $5 or so. And you can get some near mint copies for around $10. I would recommend picking this up before a pilot, comes out, or a trailer, and this really shoots up in value. I have 2 copies here, and if you can get this, this is my second copy of the free comic book day as well. If you can pick this up, this will probably worth some big bucks too. Coming up soon. Alright, so I'll get into the next book from Red 5 Comics. And you may have seen this one before. This actually shot up in value quite a bit last year. And this is Riptide. So this is also, I believe it's a 4 or 5, yeah, it's a 4-part series. It's a 4-part mini-series that talks about, it's a cruise ship, as you can see in the first cover, that there's a big like astrological event, and causes the water to basically roll back hundreds of miles. Like the seafloor. So ended up being a really hot series, very, very low print run. And this book ended up shooting up to like a $15, $20 book, like right off the bat. You can pick these up pretty much on Red 5 Comics. I think the whole series and some of the second printings, which is even a lower print run. I could definitely see this being picked up or optioned by somebody because the story was pretty good. I'll show you some of the books to look out for. So this is obviously the more desirable. This is, you know, the first one, cover A. There you go. I got 3 of these copies. Oh, 4 copies actually. Look at that. All right. Riptide number 2, which is pretty cool. I you know, see all the sharks on there. Reminds me of Jaws. And also have some of these. So this is like the second printing of number 1, which is pretty neat. So like I said, it's a lower print run. It has that movie poster feel to it, like you would expect to see. Exit number 2. Second printing, that movie poster on it. Number 3. And the last one, number 4. So as of right now, there hasn't been talks of it being picked up or optioned, but I could definitely see that book being picked up. And I said Rift has already been picked up and it's already filming underway. So that's that. On to a completely different publisher, and this is Boom Studios. Sure, more people are going to be more familiar with this series. And so this is Bone Parish. It's been a really good story. That's cover B. I wish I had cover A. When it came out, I never got the chance to pick it up. But the story takes place in I believe it's New Orleans, Louisiana. It's a story by Cullen Bunn. You know, I like Cullen Bunn's writing, especially with with horror stories. So this has to do with it's a drug made from the ashes of the dead. People take the drug and they start hallucinating, and it goes on from there. As you can imagine, it gets pretty dark, and it's a great story. You can look out for cover A. It's a black cover. It looks really cool. It shows the like a dark skull and then the drug on it as well. That you can see from here. This is the cover B. So here's number 2, and then a really cool cover 3. So that's Bone Parish. Yeah, if you get a chance, pick that up, because it has been hinted that the story might get optioned. So that's your third series to look out for. One of my personal favorites comes from Image. This has already been optioned. This is Analog. It's a story by Gary Duggan. He's another great writer. And from what I believe, this has been optioned by Lionsgate, and it's going to be made into a movie. They were looking at getting Keanu Reeves to play the part, which I think this is going to be right up his alley to play this character. The story basically goes about if the world, looking at the world if the internet security was overridden. So pretty much that in a nutshell. I picked this copy up at Midtown a while back. It was signed by Gary Duggan for cover price. And then a great number 1 cover B. I got probably 4 or 5 of these copies in my collection. Yeah, I would definitely recommend picking that up, so I can see this being quite valuable. And then I got 2 more to go. So this is Magic Order. This story has already been picked up by Netflix. This is Mark Millar. Mark Millar story, art done by Olivier Coipel. This has to do more about magic. I know that magic's not for everyone, but this will be, a lot of the image stories, especially the ones from Mark Millar, have been they've been looking at it quite a bit for Netflix now that Marvel's left Netflix and working on their Disney streaming platform. So I've got a lot of these books in the series. It's been a pretty good read. Let's see, came out in 2018. Talks about how magic meets the mob in a story about 5 families of magicians who protect the world from supernatural enemies. So there's been some great art in there as well. This is actually a cover by Adam Hughes. So I love Adam Hughes' artwork. Here's cover A for Magic Order number 1. Issue number 2. This seemed to be the main villain in the story. This is first full appearance and cover appearance of the Venetian. I have number 3, but I'm not going to show it on here because it's quite graphic, and don't want to get a little tick from YouTube for posting it. And then here's number 4, is another great cover appearance of the Venetian with some of the newer magicians on here. So that's your next indie spotlight series to look out for, is Magic Order. Like I said, it's already been picked out for Netflix. So it's definitely a book you can easily pick up in the back issue bins of your LCS. And then your last series to look out for is Infidel. So another great story by Image. Let's see a little bit about this story. So Infidel is a dark horror story. It's written by, oh geez, I can't even pronounce that. Pichetstone? I don't know. Written by Pornsak Pichetshot and illustrated by Aaron Campbell. So basically, it's a dark horror Image series, and there's been some great artwork in there. Let me just zoom in a little bit. There we go. This cover A, I think it's this cover A or cover B, is done by Jay Lee. Let's take a look at that. So it's really, really nice cover. There's also, I think cover C is a Virgin cover, which is actually really nice. Really hard to find. So this is number 2. This is a cover B. This is a David Mack cover. As you can tell, it has that watercolor type of artwork that David Mack normally does. Really nice cover. Number 3. The cover B, I believe. Number 4. And the B cover. I believe it's 6 or 7 part series. But yeah, so this is my wrap up on the indie spotlight. It's a little different. Like I said, majority of people out there collect the Marvel and DC, but there's definitely some great stories out there in the indie market. And if you get a chance, try to check one of those out. I can assure you, you'll definitely like the read in most of these. But yeah, if you want to see some more of this stuff out there, it's a different segment, Indie Spotlight, let me know. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe so you can help get my content out there. and I'd really appreciate this. So until next time, this is Mark Spector Comics.